Welcome back, sister. Welcome back to a new episode of Pocketbook Conversations. I'm your host, Tiyana. I'm excited for y'all to be here with me today. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. So last week I gave y'all some homework and I want to see if you actually did it. And we're going to, kind of talk through what came up for you. So last week's homework was for you to write down your earliest money memory. And I want to walk through what different things could mean for you. So if you're feeling embarrassed, if you are confused, and do things make sense for you. So I have had clients who I've had them walk through their earliest money memory. And a lot of times what they will tell me is the things that happened in their childhood as it related to money affected them now as they are adults. Same thing happened to me, probably the same thing that has happened to you. So because of this, if you are feeling embarrassed, I know that that is a conversation that you need to explore with your therapist, especially if you're feeling embarrassed and confused. All right. Those are conversations that I've had with my therapist, and she's helped me to understand that the things that happened in my childhood as they're related to money were not my fault. And there is no reason for me to feel like I have to continue to be in survival mode. When you're feeling embarrassed and you're confused about your childhood and the things that you weren't able to receive, it kind of translates into you feeling as if you have to continue to be in a space where you can only you have to do for yourself because you felt like you were not taken care of as a child. And that may not always be the case. Sometimes different things that happen can translate into that. So I would definitely dive deeper into your therapist with that conversation. But if things make sense for you, how they make sense for me now, let's segue into today's topic. So I want us to talk more about young adulthood. So the very first time I ended up in debt was when I got my very first credit card. My very first credit card, ironically, was a Wells Fargo card because I was working there. Did not know what I was doing, but I knew that my grandmother, my dad's mom, told me, "You are a little girl. There are only two things that you have in this world. That's your word and your credit." So even though I have been in debt so many times, I have a perfect payment history and I have not allowed anything to go to collections because my grandmother's words rang true in my head. Plus, like I told y'all last week, I saw how my grandparents manage money and they always had money. And I know that they also have great credit as well. These are just, things that I learned down the line. So in knowing all of this information, I took that and ran with it. The first time that I was in debt, I found myself really feeling like, okay, well, I know I'm going to be able to get out of debt. I had ended up leaving Rainbow, working there, and then getting 2 university jobs. So one thing about me, and when I was in undergrad, I had between 2 and 3 jobs at the same time. It was either working for the university, but still working for Wells, but working for the university in different sectors. I had worked for the advertising department. I had also worked for the communications department for the entire university, as well as the sports communication department. Mama kept a job. Mama kept a job. Okay. But the second time that I was in debt, and this was after I had graduated from undergrad, I found myself suffering from debilitating insomnia. Had never experienced that a day in my life. And when I say debilitating, I mean like debilitating, as far as I'm not able to sleep at night unless I create a mock budget in order for me to get myself out of debt. That would be like the only way that I could soothe, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'm in therapy, but there's a disconnect. Like what is actually supposed to be happening? Yes, we are talking about what is going on with the debt, but there's no there isn't a true plan of me getting out. Yeah, I was able to get out, the first time and all of the other times. And I only count 3 major times of me getting out of debt. I have been in debt more times than that. I just want to throw that out there. I have been in debt several times because you get caught in a cycle. But I only talk about the 3 major times because those were really when I had learned major things that I apply now with my clients. So there were many miniature times in between the first and the second time. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. We're going to skip 6 through 10 and we're going to get to the second time. So that second time after I had graduated and I was in grad school, I had just found myself being like, okay, so what is going to be the real plan? Because I'm suffering and I'm not able to go to sleep. So I would create these mock budgets that would give me, like, I would say, okay, if I make this amount of money and this is my take home amount, I'll be able to get out of debt within this time frame. And it would be like quick time frames too. But the whole thing was I was not making that amount of money. So I was not dealing in reality. But that delusion was feeding me and feeding me enough to where I was able to go to sleep. All right. But with me doing that work, I wasn't realizing that I was actually creating frameworks that I now use in my firm. So I want to talk about a framework that I use with my one-to-one clients as well as for my group program. It is called residual. I realized the second time that I was in debt, I was always making myself suffer. And I realized that because I was kind of going back and forth between listening to Dave Ramsey, but also understanding that I don't think that this information is for me. Because I can't go and just sell a car and get a beater. What are you talking about? I would be upside down. I would have negative equity in this in this vehicle. So how sir? Beans and rice and beans. My mama's side of the family, like her dad's side is from Louisiana. You mean like red beans and rice? I need to be eating that every day. Jambalaya, chicken and rice. Like I'm not. I couldn't really get with the suffering, but in a way, I was creating budgets that was still making me suffer because I was not giving myself any type of money. So giving yourself money in your budget, that is called self-pay. That is something that we require of all of our clients, whether they are in the group program and their sole focus is DIY and they want to save while getting out of debt, but the saving is the primary goal, or if they are a one-to-one client and their primary goal is done for you. I want you to do the work for me. Just tell me what I need to pay every single month because I've been trying to figure this out and I've not been able to do it, but I need you to get me out of debt because I'm tired of this cycle. Either way, self-pay is required. You have to give yourself something to spend every single month. It does not, well, it does matter the amount, but it's not negotiable. My concierge consultant, Michelle, and I, we were just going over one of our group clients' budgets. And she was saying that because she was not happy with her money for the month of for April, she wasn't happy with it. She was not going to give herself any self-pay. We don't punish ourselves around here. No, ma'am. In my firm, at the Rosaiah Jamēs firm, you are able to get out of debt while also not giving up your lifestyle. The lifestyle is not the problem. The lifestyle will never be the problem. All right. It's always the accountability that is missing, the structure that is missing, and the plan that is missing. That was what I had to realize on my own that, okay, Tiyana, you trying to make yourself suffer. That's unrealistic. You're going to want to spend money even more because you're not taking care of yourself. So we do not take out self-care. We do not take out the massages, the waxing, the hair done, the nails done, the lashes. We do not take those things out because as Black women, those are the things that make us feel something. Like how we're spending money and we're feeling something and we're getting that dopamine boost. Same thing when you're actually taking care of yourself, because when you look good, you feel good, and all the other things that Deion Sanders said. Okay, so with that being said, there's also another framework that I require for our clients, but this is something that builds up over time. It is called residual. So when I was making those mock budgets and I was working on my residual, I had to realize that spending every single dime of my money every single month was insane, even outside of like saving. Like, yeah, money is going to the savings, but at the same time, there should still be money that flows over and rolls over every single month. You get what I'm saying? Like you should still have money that is rolling over every single month, even after you pay all of your monthly expenses. Even after you put, you designate a certain amount to your savings. You pay the minimums on your debt, but you put a little bit more on another piece of debt. There should still, you give yourself money. You still are taking care of your self-care. There should be money that is left over after all of that is supposed to roll over. And if it does not, there's a problem that is in your budget. So when clients come to us and we're working with them during their consultation and we say, hey, okay, well, so this is what we are going to do. We're going to build a solid plan for you based off of your current lifestyle, meaning whatever you bring home, this is what we're going to work with. We're working with these numbers because this is the reality that we are working in. I understand that you're going to be getting a raise soon. Once you get that, we'll rework the numbers. I understand that you're going to be getting a bonus soon. Once you get that, we'll rework the numbers. But for right now, we're going to deal in reality. These are the things that we're going to do for this budget, and this is the plan that we're going to follow. But understand that the plan can change. Money is flexible and we always pivot. That is one thing that I pride myself on in my firm. Nothing remains the same, especially if things need to adjust. It is unrealistic for you to know that, oh, I actually need to adjust this and I need to change this, but this is the plan that I have, and this is the route that I want to take to get to where I want to be. That's crazy. You can't do that. You have to be able to be flexible with the things that you want in order to get to where you want to be. Sometimes the path's not going to be straight. It's going to be a little squiggly, and that's fine. As long as you are remaining consistent with the plan and being able to build in buffers into the plan. Always plan for the plan to change, and that's fine. The goal always remains the same. So because we do this in our clients' budgets and we are building in different factors and making sure that money is rolling over, making sure that our clients are taking care of themselves. I was having a conversation with one of the ladies and she was just saying that, like, it makes sense, like, that you said that I should not be spending every single last dollar and every single last dime of my money. I was like, yeah, you made six figures. Like, all of your needs are met within like a certain section of your finances. Everything else is just like rollover, like it flows over. And if you are not feeling that in your budget, I want to be able to help you to feel that. I want you to be able to have your money, spend your money how you want to, go on the trips, make sure that you are living your life. I want to be able to help you live your life while you're getting out of debt. I want you to be able to maintain your lifestyle, if not elevate your lifestyle while you're getting out of debt. So I want you to click the link that is in the description box and book your consultation. Like, we need to work together. I want to be able to help you. There's no reason why you should feel like you have to punish yourself in order for you to get to where you want to be. It is not your fault that you're in debt. It does not matter how many times you are in debt, you're still healing. And once you forgive yourself for being in this position and realize that there are things that you have to learn and things that you have to go through, then you can accept the fact that your embarrassment and your shame are really false feelings. And that it's okay for you to want to get out of debt. It's okay for you to need assistance to get out of debt. That's literally the reason why I started this firm, was to give Black women the assistance to get out of debt that I did not have, because I had to figure it out on my own, child. I had to get it out the mud, but I got it out of the mud so that you do not have to. All right. One more thing before we wrap up. There's a part of getting out of debt that is honestly the biggest part, and it's the mindset part. A lot of you ladies are making six figures, and the things that are happening now economically are not really affecting you, but because you see these things being talked about on social media, it feels like you should chip in on the conversation. You don't have to. You don't have to. Because at the end of the day, I feel like this, and I always have to bring this to my clients' attention. If you are able to pay all of your bills, pay the minimum payments on your cards and all of your debt, and still have money left over, and go grocery shopping and not look at what you are picking up and looking at prices. If you're able to go to the gas station and you fill up and you go, "Ooh, girl, I cannot believe that costs that much," and then you get in your car and you roll off and you don't worry about it no more. You not. It's okay for you not to have to worry about what is going on with others financially. All right. Your goal can still be financial stability. Yes, you can still be relatable to what is happening, but you do not have to take on that full plight. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times when it comes to finances, we tend to speak negative over our finances, and our situation is not that bad. There are some people who are really going through it. I see it on a daily basis. However, if that is not your story, I do not need you to make that your story. You can still be empathetic and not make that your reality. And if you feel like that is your reality and you do not want that to be your reality, you can change that. Financial stability is something that you deserve. Financial literacy is something that you deserve. Financial freedom is what you deserve. And during this time where things are getting more and more difficult, financial stability should be at the top of your mind. So if you cannot go to the grocery store and just say, okay, well, I need this, and this, and I have to worry about pricing, but still know that it is within your budget, consultation. If you cannot go to the gas station how you used to and just pump and just keep it moving, consultation. Because at the end of the day, you should still be able to live your life and not allow the things that are happening in the world to affect you. Your finances should be the last thing that you should have to worry about during a time like this. So for my ladies who don't really have to worry about that, I don't want you to take that on. And for my ladies who are worrying about that, it's time for us to have a conversation. So for your homework for today, got my teacher glasses on, girl. I got to give y'all just a little piece of homework. If you do have a budget, I want you to take a look at your budget from last month, and I want you to let us know in the comment section, did you have any residual? Did you have any money to roll over to the month of May? And if you did, do you still see it? If you don't, let's find it. All right? So I will see y'all next week. I hope that y'all have a great rest of your week. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. And until then, bye.